Tina Traster of the Rockland County Business Journal. Good morning.
Good morning, Rockland County. How is everybody today?
Pretty spry considering yesterday was the Super Bowl.
Oh, right. Well, I hope that didn't keep everybody up too late.
Right.
Indigestion. So what are we talking about today? We are going to talk about some reporting that we did last week based on some insider information. Rockland County Business Journal was told that Amazon is planning to open up what's called an Amazon 4-star store at the Palisades Center.
Wow.
So what is an Amazon 4-star store? Let me tell you. Amazon has, there's sort of an irony to it all. Amazon, the avatar of the death of brick and mortar, is now proliferating with its own fleet of brick and mortar type stores. 76 of those are the Whole Foods markets that they own, but they also have other store models. One is called the Amazon Go Convenience. They have now bookstores, also kind of ironic. They have pop-ups. But right now what we're going to talk about are the Amazon 4-star stores. And there are about 20 of them, including those that are planned for, there's 2 that are planned for New Jersey, and one of which will be in the Dream Mall, and another for sure in Connecticut, in Norwalk. But according to inside sources of ours, we are being told that the Amazon 4-star store is also coming to the Palisades Center. And what the Amazon 4-star store is it's like if you went on their site and you looked at a curated assortment of their 4-star products, essentially it would be like you were walking into their site, only in a physical setting. So you would see a mishmash or a mix-up of consumer electronics and toys and games and books and music and kitchenware and home furnishings and all the stuff you would expect to see online, except instead it's kind of laid out in a store format. And the store will designate items that are like trending or that are new or popular, and it's as though they're taking just a bit of their store, a bit of their reach, and curating it into a store. They've got a very large store in Manhattan, in Soho. So if anybody wants to take a trip down there, that's a good example of what they do. They also sell their own products like Kindles and Amazon Basics kitchenware and the Amazon Echo, the Echo Dot, the Echo Show, and Ring, which is the smart home company that Amazon owns.
When is this going to open?
Well, according to my sources, it should open in the spring sometime, or at least within a few months. According to my source, they have signed the contract and they're starting to do a build-out in a portion of the old Restoration Hardware space, which has been empty for a long time. So, it's an interesting topic for a couple of reasons in terms of looking at what's going on in retail. We know so many chains are closing, dying, essentially becoming obsolete. There certainly is a concern over all of the vacant retail. Everybody likes to point to Amazon as the big bad wolf of what has put retail, I think out of its misery. But at the same time, there's, I guess, a tinge of irony to think that, Amazon taking up brick and mortar space, can be one more step towards the solution of how malls like the Palisades Center and strip malls or other shopping centers, fill their space. So it's sort of interesting. I think it's interesting. Is the store really going to be that useful? I have no idea. I mean, I think mostly when you go to a store, you're walking in because you have something in mind that you want to buy. Even if you're going into like a Sur La Table, which is the kitchen store at the shops at Nanuet, presumably you're going there because you've got a kitchen item in mind that you want. But with these Amazon 4-stars, they seem more like not a flea market per se, but they're more like a hodgepodge or It's not that you can necessarily go there knowing that what you're looking for is going to be there. Maybe except with the exception of their, some of their own branded merchandise, like the Kindle and the Ring, which is the home security system. But it'll be interesting to see, if this plays out, and to see whether these stores are successful. All told, Amazon has, I think it's more than 500 brick and mortar locations, but the majority of that are the Whole Foods, which they own.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if Rockland County could attract the Whole Foods, that's for sure. So that's one thing we wrote about. So let's stick a pin in that, and we'll see how that plays out.
You have that in the publication right now?
Of course, that's up on the site in our latest news at www.rcbizjournal.com.
This has been interesting news. I mean, what we talk about generally are the places just leaving the Palisades Center, just folding up.
Well,
it's also interesting to see how many internet-born brands are trying to crack the brick and mortar retail area, and seeing that only being on the internet isn't the perfect end-all be-all to things. It's still helpful to have a brick and mortar site.
That is exactly right. I think one of the examples of that is it Casper, the mattress people?
Yeah, and their market valuation isn't doing all that well.
Right. I mean, it is true that we're seeing kind of the reverse engineering of, internet-strong companies that have built themselves enough of a brand where they're able to say, okay, now we're going to open up a place somewhere. But I think maybe perhaps one difference is that with a lot of those internet companies, they're really driven by a niche product.
Correct. They're not department stores like a Macy's or a Sears or a Kmart kind of a thing.
Right. They're not like, all things to everybody, but like nothing very exciting to anybody kind of thing.
Right.
Which is what a lot of retail has become.
Right, but that's important, though. That's an important distinction, because if you have something that people will buy in a particular area, that they don't want to wait for it to be shipped 3 weeks later or 3 days later or 3 hours later. They want it now. That's important.
It really is, and it's interesting. But I don't think that those online brands that are migrating into brick and mortar are going to be looking for 30,000 square feet of space. So I think that's one of the challenges that you have in a mall like Palisades Center, which has these, ginormous spaces.
Right, but you could take 10 brands and subdivide that and put that into that space or something
No,
else
I know,
there
and
too.
that would be like a nice marketplace kind of effect.
Right.
Yeah, no, and the best hope for those enormous spaces are things like what we previously wrote about, which is the Bodeborg, which is taking, I think it was 25,000 square feet, where Barnes & Noble is right now.
Right.
And we're going to put up a story today about it's not a gaming place. It's called Arena STEM, and it's a sort of hybrid of education and entertainment and retail. And it's kind of hard to explain, but it's another one of these experiential concepts. We'll have a story up later about it.
My grandson was there on Saturday for a birthday party.
Yeah?
I want to go to one of these places where you go into one of the amusements is it spins around to the point where you get sick to your stomach. And I can't think of the name of it. They loved it. What is it?
Well, Well, that's probably, those kinds of entertainment attractions, are what malls, I think, believe will, at least in the short term, save them.
I mean, when did you ever think that you would be able to go to mall to ride race cars or to go skiing?
I know.
I mean, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. That's what they're doing, and whether this is going to be the secret sauce for Mall 2.0 into this 21st century. I'm not a betting kind of person, but I don't know that I would put all of my chips down on that formula.
Well, but some of them are taking, like you said, some of the big warehouse space. They're looking to convert them to office space or even housing opportunities.
Yeah, there's a nonprofit, Bridges.
They're moving in. Yep. They're
taking some space, and there's some chatter about trying to reconfigure the Lord and Taylor as a Hilton. I've heard some chatter about that, but I don't have.
Well, you know what? Because we're out of time now, but we'll continue this next week, certainly.
Surely will.
And you can find all this on Rockland Biz, RC Biz, B-I-Z Journal, RC Biz, BIZjournal.com. All right. Thank you very much, Tina.
See you next week.